here's my documentation. The third app is this text explorer that allows me to search. For now, it sort of works, but it's not really designed for very large data sets. So we might see if it's possible that we will run into some issues with it in the future. But let's just see. Let's see whether this will actually work. I'm going to create a new project. I'm gonna get that from this, and let me call this Explorer test. Boom. So here we have a little bit of a similar issue. Well, ignore the issue part. There's a script to be run here first, where we need to prepare the data in the format that this particular Corpora Explorer app that I did not write expects. So the way we're going to do that is that we're just going to read the texts that I already pre-stored into this Parquet file on the Amazon Web Services. Oh, was that it? Oh no. Error. Why? Oh, that also looks a bit weird. Oh, I know why. Okay. Do you see the good students will notice that I made a mistake, and that's because I told you that it lives in the for text mining folder, and that is not what this says. Okay. Now, if I try to run it, we should be reading in correctly. Yeah, okay, so it's now trying to get everything from this Parquet file. It is then running this function, the prepare data function that I did not create. It's from the Corpora Explorer package. So I just read the documentation for Corpora Explorer, which you can find on Corpora Explorer here. And I did what it told me to do. So right now it's tokenizing in the way that it requires things to be tokenized. After it's prepared the data, it's going to save it out into an R data storage file that you can see that's going to be put here into. Oh, we're probably going to get an error here. No, it is going to create the folder first. Let's see whether this will work. I think I haven't tried it with that. Okay, no, it's not that big. You can see it's like 132.4 megabytes. And now I can try to run this app. Now you'll see that this, for whatever, because of the way he's been building it, you'll see I just have to run the code in here. There's not a run app button because it's there's some wrapping functions around this, but at the end of the day, it's still a shiny app. It's just this guy that built it instead of me, and it's doing some stuff. Oh, great! You can see here's all of the files. Okay, I can also see some other mistakes in that I don't actually see. So the way this should have looked. Actually, I'm just gonna take just the first 50 manuscripts. I'm just gonna say, oh, we got the metadata. I'm just going to, is this only for the ones with, yeah, it is. I'm just gonna take the first 50 rows, and I'm gonna say first 50, and I'm gonna pull, no, that's fine, the first 50, and then I am going to say OCHS text is OCHS text where the I'm just gonna include the name in transliteration here. Filter, name, transliteration. Oh, let's see, have we got the name in transliteration now? Yeah, we do. Oh, but that's been turning it into a, wait. It's the internal catalog ID I want to keep. This is so live. Okay, I'm just gonna take I'm just gonna filter such that the internal catalog ID is in the first 50. Good. And I'm just gonna actually overwrite this. Oh yeah. So what we now okay, so you saw that ran much faster. And I'm just going to run the app now. Oh, so that's slightly more like what we suggested. What we expected. Basically, you can, what you see here on the right is the number of rows in that particular data file, and then I can write something here. I can write let's write easy, and it's gonna show to me all of the. Oh, is it because this is a very long thing that makes the, so again, because I did not design this Shiny app, now I'm like super annoyed about the way in which the visual layout of this is done, because when you have a very long name here, I guess we could also just completely ignore the name. Yeah, let's ignore the name. We're gonna say that, why don't we use the internal catalog ID for the grouping variable, and then I save it out, and if I run this now, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're actually able to okay. So you see that this is kind of a way almost for us to outsource the way that people can search through the different things. I guess this just means that now people will have to look up on our website what the internal catalog IDs refer to.
And these are the pages, separate pages. You can see
sorry?
pages with, and these are separate pages with.
You mean so the little boxes here?
Yeah.
So the little box is actually just segmenting by in the data here I gave to the to this prepare data function. It's just going to create a box for whatever for which for each row. So I can decide what it is. I actually for now said that when we create our CSVs with text, we typically do it such that each row is a paragraph of text. And right here, I'm actually saying that I'm taking 50 paragraphs of text and putting it into one row.
Okay. Okay. So these are not pages. These are paragraphs.
Yeah, it's not pages. It's whatever grouping. It's whatever we put into one row.
Right. And in most cases, paragraphs. That's what you're saying. Because you put a paragraph in a row of CSV.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if we put a paragraph, yeah, I think what I've initially, you'll see that some of them where I'm trying to extract chapter and verse and so on. But I think that's going to be too unreliable because people often have put that down in very different ways in the different texts. So I think we're going to ignore that. We're just going to say one row is one paragraph.
Yeah, cool. No, it's
So,
just curious to know, to understand. That's fine.
but now I'm just curious about whether, so if I run this again now, will this actually, I think that should work. But yeah, okay, so that's that app. This one I did not build myself. It's just from this Cobra Explorer thing. Any question, Christopher?
Nope, it's good.
Good. We're gonna stretch for 1 sec, and then we're gonna do the last thing, which is that I'm gonna show you the metadata editor, but we're gonna do that in conjunction with trying to add a new made-up manuscript to the database. Let's see whether we can get that to work, shall we? And now I'm actually also just really curious about whether this will. I'm super excited. I'm super excited if this will work with 500 texts, because I was sure it would not work. And we can even try to push that live and see whether it will work. So now I can ignore this manuscript name here and stuff. I can actually ignore all of this because now I've just reverted to. Okay, will this work? Will this work with 500 texts? If it does, then it almost certainly will not do on our. Oh yeah, great. Okay, so much better. And I write et. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, not bad. Huh, okay. So for the fun of it, I'm actually gonna try to deploy this to our server. In this case, I'm gonna run these 2 lines here. Oh, I've reached the maximum number of applications. Is that because I saved this as another name? Okay, I'll do that later. Okay, cool. So